guy a few weeks ago, and it was one of those things where like you hit it off and it's great through text message and phone conversation, but then as soon as you meet them, you're like, oh. And I mean, I'm sure at the end of the day he's a nice guy, but when we met, the only thing he did was talking about himself the entire time, and I was like,
Well, nobody likes
I,
that.
I just quickly lost interest. I was like,
Well, yeah. I mean, did
I
he
was
even ask you
like,
anything about
you,
yourself?
yeah. He literally talked about himself the entire time, and I was like, I mean, it seems like my responses to his stuff was like, yep. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's nice. Oh, wow, really? You know how it goes sometimes. Like those are my type of responses. It's like I was just kind of filling in the
Mhm.
spots where he just stopped talking.
Right.
I was, and after that I was like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm like, if you're like that on the first meet,
Mhm.
like meeting and trying to, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. But I mean, but in regards to how the races are different, are different in the gay community. Yeah, you have that. I mean, but you have a lot of things in the gay community. I mean, that's just one of the issues in the gay community. There are plenty of others, but
I just think that
hopefully you'll come around one day and people will just kind of
that's a
be more
particularly
open minded. But
prominent
I mean,
issue.
I hear a lot of I hear a lot of white gay guys that be like, "Oh, I've never dated a black guy. I really don't have any intentions of dating a black guy or a Hispanic guy or." That type of thing, which is fine, but I think it's just that to me, I think what gets under my skin is their delivery
Well, it's not just
because it's like,
that. It's not just that. I think that because I've told you, generally what I'm attracted to, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't date someone who doesn't fit that mold. I'm open to it, but those
but
people
see,
are
that's
like,
different for you
no.
though. You're open to it. They weren't.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that that's the difference. Is that they're like just being racist. It's a
Right,
race thing.
right.
Yeah.
I've heard someone say that. Well, not. They didn't say it to me, but they told another friend who told me, and they were just like, they just not tend to date black men because they find black men unattractive.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Every black man, because every black
okay.
man looks the same. That makes no sense.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
I did, it's funny you say that because I did say that. I was like, oh, I guess we
All
all
look
look the
alike.
same, right? Like we just all look the same.
It's like a
You can't say,
rainbow. I'm sorry, it's not even possible to say that I would never date a black man because I'm not attracted to them ever. That's just ridiculous. Just like with a
he
white
said
person.
he said it for like he's like, I'm just not attracted to black people, and
Whatever.
I'm like, all right. I mean,
Whatever
well,
floats your boat, dude. You don't have to worry
right,
about me.
right,
So.
right. So yeah. Speaking of gay,
Mhm.
gay.com, which I haven't been on there since Hector was a pup, as my grandmother used to say. Supposed to get revamped. I didn't even know that these hoes disappeared to begin with, but suppose they're coming back, and it's supposed to be coming back with a vengeance. So,
Well, what's happened is that
fill us up. Yeah, fill us in.
fill us up. I don't know about that, but
No pun intended. No pun intended. Okay.
all right. No, the funny thing is, gay.com, I actually met not my husband, but a previous long term relationship in 2000 on there. And I before that, the '90s, late '90s, I was on there all the time. It was like they said in the article, it was the grinder of the day. It wasn't just a place you would hook up though; you talk to people, but primarily that's what it was used
Right.
for. But it's just funny because I remember my handle on there was Jungle Red, and
Oh my God, I
yes.
bet you were rich.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was a fun place, but yeah, you go on there and you meet people, but it was just as catty and horrible and bitchy as any other gay thing like Grindr or whatever.
Right, of course, because people are behind a
Computer screen.
a computer screen,
Vicious,
and a part
though.
of it is, I think, because I don't know if it's because in life growing up, gay people are judged so much, so then they
Judge
internally
others.
judge other people.
It's taking back their own power and
Yeah,
mhm.
and you know what I mean. They may think these things while you're out in public, but of course you're never going to say it to somebody's face. But behind a keyboard,
Right. I was called a nigger on there. I was called a nigger.
Why?
Well,
Because you're biracial.
because I'm biracial. Yeah, I started. I was on BBSs and all that stuff, and then I got on to gay.com when it came out, and this guy and his partner he and I were talking all the time, just like friends or whatever. And they invited me to go out with them to dinner with their friends and stuff. And so I did. And we had a lot of fun talking on everything. Went out to dinner. I met with them. I didn't tell them I was biracial. I didn't tell them anything. I didn't think it mattered. What difference does it make what race I am? So I met with them, and they met me and whatever. And we went to dinner and everything else. And after that, I messaged them whatever a few days later. I said, hey, I had fun. Let's do it again. And he actually emailed me back or messaged me back on Get.com and said, sorry, we don't hang out with niggers. And so I...
Just because you happen to be biracial, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
You've experienced shit like that, I'm sure. I've experienced that many, many times in my life. I've told you about before, but yeah, it's just bullshit. But so I'm just saying that's one of my memories. But the point of making that reminding me of that story is that there was a whole microcosm of a social society there. So it's like you had a whole world on gay.com where people knew each other, slept with each other, intrigue, gossip. I mean, it was just like, and you had people who hated each other and you had people who took sides. Right. It was like a fucking soap opera. It really was. And it was like my life. Really it was, because I was a computer geek and I was totally into computers then. And I was always on the computer. And it was really like that. And so it's just funny now that it's going away and all those, they said getting rid of all, like 75 million profiles, or deleting all of them from the original gay.com.
Good.
And it will no longer be there. So if you have anything embarrassing on gay.com, it's gone now.
So they're just like getting rid of it completely?
Yeah. Well, no, they're not getting rid of the domain. They're turning it into a dating site, basically, like a gay, like a hookup site. Really, is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
well, gotta compete. With
I guess so.
Right.
So, anyway,
but no, it's fun. It's funny that you say that, because I have a friend of mine who's straight. He's biracial.
Yeah.
And he was talking to a girl, and they went on a date and everything was fine. Mm-hmm. And then when she found out that he was biracial, she actually had the nerve to send him a text and said, I don't want to have kids that look like nappy-headed hoes.
Oh my God.
I was like,
what?
People really think this shit? Just because you may have
yes, people think this shit.
Because you happen to have
you heard of Donald
Trump?
Mother
or a father of a different race. I was like, people really think this shit.
People are ignorant and stupid and shallow and superficial and vapid and racist. I mean, they're all these things. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all.
I was like, he told me, I was shocked in a way, but in a way I wasn't. I was like,
wait till you read my book if I ever fucking finish it. Wait till you read it. You'll see all the fucking shit I've been through. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it whenever you release it.
When it's done.
Oh, but do I get a rough draft?
Hell no, but you'll be in it.
All right. So, the movie Splash is doing a gender swap version.
Oh my God.
What are your thoughts on that? Before we say this, as a gay man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna put myself out there. I had never heard this movie prior, until about 10 minutes before the show started. So I will admit, as a gay man, I had never heard of it. Didn't know what it was. Who was in it? What it was about?
How old are you again?
I'm 33.
So you're about 8 years younger than me. So yeah, you were kind of young, I guess. You were kind of young, because I was only like 6 or 7 or 8 when it came out.
Well, there you go. I mean, I might have just popped out my mom's cooch at that time, so I don't know, or maybe shortly afterwards.
I thought it came out in the 80s.
It came out like 83 or something. I was like 8 years old. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
hello. I was born in 82.
So you were 1.
That's why I don't remember it.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying there's not a reason for you not to remember. I'm just trying to make sense of it. But it was a cultural phenomenon. It was like the biggest movie of the year. It was a great movie. I loved it. I grew up. I mean, just like one of those movies, like you remember, like E.T. or something. It was a great movie. I loved it. Anyway, so sorry you missed out. You need to go watch it though. It's good.
Who's in the movie?
Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks in the original.
Okay. So I'm assuming in the remake they're going to have, I'm assuming, other actors.
In the so It's now been confirmed. It's in pre-production. They haven't started filming yet, but they are doing a re-adaptation of the movie Splash. Now, I saw this story yesterday and kind of chuckled at it and saved it for the show, but I really saw it like 4 or 5 times today. So it starting to pick up steam now. But apparently, it's a remade version, and it's going to be a gender swap, something along the lines of a man meets a mermaid, there's a spell, and the man becomes a merman. And the merman that's been cast is Channing Tatum. So at first I kind of thought, oh my gosh, this sounds like a joke. But then I kind of thought, well, maybe if it was a comedy, that might, that could be funny, like Channing Tatum
It is a comedy,
as a
isn't it?
merman. That's pretty funny, right? So, do you love the idea? Do you hate the idea? Do you think Hollywood's out of ideas? What do you think?
Well, the original was a comedy. I don't know if this one is or not, but the fact that they're making a wizard make him a mermaid or something is merman is retarded. Excuse me, I should use that word, stupid. I think it's really stupid because the original, that's not what happened at all. She just happened to be a mermaid and he fell in love with her.
Right.
But I think yes, Hollywood has definitely run out of ideas and they just rehash whatever they can. Yes.
Well, and I think a lot of it too is like the gimmick of it, you know what I mean? Like redoing movies and stuff. It's because it already has a built-in
It's the nostalgia.
Audience
It's nostalgia.
Yeah,
They're playing on nostalgia.
They don't have to worry about
It's
the
just
marketing and the repitching for a new idea and a new story. It's easier to remake a movie or have a spin-off of a movie kind of like this is.
It's just like Ghostbusters. That played off nostalgia as well. But fortunately, that ended up being a good movie. But people wanted to see it because they remembered being a kid, loving Ghostbusters, blah, blah, blah. And then Footloose, same thing with that stupid movie. They remade it. The first one was really amazing. The second one was stupid. But anyway, I mean, yeah, so it's the same thing. They just play on people's emotions. Are you going to go watch it? Are you going to watch the movie, either one of you? First of all, have both of you not seen Splash, the movie, the original?
No, I've never seen Splash, but it just depends on the trailer. You know what I mean? If the trailer comes out and it looks really funny, I'll go see it. If
You need to go watch the original. You have to watch the original before you watch this one.
Okay, I'll watch the original. I'm sure this isn't going to come out until like 2018. That time.
I'm just saying, you got to watch the original. It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I've never seen it, never heard of it. I plan on seeing it now. I have to watch it, in order.
Yeah, you probably don't know this either because you didn't watch the original movie, but they actually made a series on TV out of Splash in the 90s or late 80s. It was horrible, but that's how popular it was. It became a series, so it's a good movie. Just if you get bored someday, watch it on Netflix or something.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So
I am sitting here smelling these leather upholstery samples, and my God, I love the smell of leather.
It does. Doesn't it smell good, though?
I'm sitting here like, oh.
I know. You know what? Here's a weird thing about me. You like the smell of leather. I like when I go to like Lowe's. When they have like the refrigerator section.
Can you open
and they
them?
have those and the stainless steel, and they make that sound when you close them. It's like it's just like you open it and close it. Oh my God, I love that sound. It's like just like a solid close. It's like I love the way they sound. My mom thinks I'm fucking crazy for even.
I think it's hilarious.
Telling her about that.
No, you would love a Sub-Zero. You can go try out a Sub-Zero somewhere at the Sub-Zero showroom. You'd love that then. You love that sound.
Oh my God, I love it. I just love the way they sound when you open and close it. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, you got some kinks in you. Anyway.
I know. No, I don't plan on having sex with the refrigerator.
At least with mine, I can integrate it with my sex life.
So, speaking of movies and remakes, now this is some bullshit, okay? So, Matt Damon is playing a fucking Chinese hero. I am done. I am so done with this story already, and how is that even possible?
I saw this trailer this weekend when I was watching Jason Bourne. We watched that movie, Jason Bourne. And I was like,
good?
Yeah, it was all right.
It was meh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this movie, and I was watching, I was, what the fuck? And so I was thinking, why is this white guy in the middle of the Great Wall of China in the 1700s or whatever the fuck was built, 1400, whatever it was. I was like, why is he there? And then he puts this little thing on here, Christian does, about this story. So why is he playing a Chinese hero?
Well, apparently the country of China is actually a investor in this film, and they've paid a lot of money to be a part of this film, and they were a part of casting him in the movie. Obviously, anytime they put a big actor in a movie, regardless of what his race is, but majority of them are white, unfortunately, they're doing it to bring in the box office budget. But I think in this case, when we've already been talking about Hollywood being so whitewashed, especially around the time of the Oscars